Paul Mauro, Smart Financial. What do young investors invest in? What should you buy? We're going to talk about it in this video, and when I get to the end, if you forgot everything and didn't miss it, by the way, hit us up, leave us a comment below, subscribe, and we'll get you our 5-point list on startup investments for new investors, as in young investors, or if you've never invested and you happen to be in your 50s and it's just time for you to start buying some things, let me give you a few ideas about startup investments and how to get started doing investing. First and foremost, don't hire a financial advisor, okay? I have a whole video about this. If you want to follow up on that video, you can subscribe right here and I'll meet you over there on that video talking about when you should hire a financial advisor. But if you don't have a lot of money built up already and you're just starting off, you don't need a financial advisor, you need to start investing. So let's talk about the smart way to start investing as a beginner. First and foremost, don't invest in things you don't understand. Don't invest in things that you don't have any confidence in. And as you drive around and go to different places and go shopping, you should invest in things that you see with your own eyeballs that make sense to you. For example, some of the greatest companies in the world you're probably using right now if you're watching me, one of them is Microsoft. I'm a really big believer in Microsoft and Apple, who are out there in the internet universe sharing the domains. We're probably never going to stop using Microsoft. I think Bill Gates implanting that Microsoft into every computer that goes out, and he makes a penny or something every time somebody uses a Microsoft product. This is a great stock to invest in. They're not going to go out of business. They've been around a long time. I do think that Microsoft is a great technology investment to make. So you can buy a couple shares of Microsoft, and now you're an investor in the technology world. Now, the second thing is food and eating. So, I've watched my family pull into fast food restaurants like McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and others. And, I don't think they're going to stop buying fast food. I think you actually should invest in something like a McDonald's, if you think that makes sense to you, or Nestle's, if you think you really like chocolate in your family. Why? Are people going to stop eating Nestle's? They have paid the same dividend of about 3.5% for 100 years. That's ridiculous. So you invest in Nestle, even if the stock doesn't go up, and you're making 3.5% a year, that's like investing in McDonald's. It pays you 4% a year. These are great investments, guys, to start with in different parts of the economy. One is technology. Own a technology stock. You'll learn a lot from that by reading the reports and following them. If you don't know anything about Microsoft yet, look at the machine that you're using. If it's not Microsoft, buy Apple. Right? Buy a piece of a company you're already working with. So, third thing is, let's talk about buying things online. Of course, Amazon is the 800-pound gorilla in this area. It's a technology company, but it's also a marketplace. Now, I'm a big fan of Amazon. Personally, right now, I would stay away from Facebook, Meta, whatever they want to call themselves. They have a big law case going on. We don't exactly know how it's going to go. So let's try to avoid companies that have a lot of controversy going on, but I think Amazon does not. Amazon is a juggernaut. I can't say enough good things about them. And as far as their stock is concerned, a lot of people made a lot of money by investing in Amazon. And I don't think it was just because they put the bookstores out of business. Virtually everybody that buys something at Amazon supports another small business. I have actually, among 50 years of doing financial work with vendors to Amazon. That means if you go into the Amazon site and buy something, that request went out to them at their little company. They supplied it at Amazon, and everybody made money. I'm a big fan of Amazon. So if you're buying something in that marketplace, I'm not a big fan of retailers like Target and Walmart. I'm not sure about their future, but I do think that online buying is not going away. So I like technology, Microsoft. I like online buying, Amazon, and I like food, which could either be McDonald's or Nestle's, kind of depending on your appetites. I think starting off investing is really important. Now, when you start to accumulate some dollars, you might want to branch out from there and invest in what we call trends. And one of the big trends that's going on right now is the longevity trend. In fact, my second book is out. If you want to get a free copy of that, you can attend one of our meetings. We do free signed copies. I'll be doing them in September at our big economic conference in the Marriott Hotel in Newton, Mass. If you want to join us for that, make sure you subscribe. First 100 subscribers go for free, and hit us up with more questions about the details by clicking this link. Anyway, at that meeting, we'll be talking about different kinds of investing on and beyond the basics, and one of them is investing in the aging economy. Longevity is with us. People are living longer and longer. Kimberly-Clark is the biggest manufacturer of, guess what? Adult diapers. So that stock might be a good buy if you think that people are going to keep living longer and that personal hygiene equipment for the aging population is important. Now, if you happen to be a big believer in babies, you might invest in Procter & Gamble, who, by the way, distributes Love's diapers for babies. So Procter & Gamble isn't going to go away, and neither is Kimberly-Clark. These are big, successful companies. But once you've got beyond technology, once you've got beyond basic food, you might start then to think about some trends that are interesting to you in like the aging population of people that are using up more and more services. Now, I will tell you also that I think investing for beginners is different. Once you get to a certain scale, and let's just say it's a scale that makes you uncomfortable. When you look at your account and it's $250,000, you might want to get advice. Some of you might wait until you get to $1 million. Most high quality investment advisory and financial advisory firms, they really aren't practical to hire if you have less than $1 million because of the amount of fees they charge based on the amount of money they're managing really suppresses your return. So you should wait to hire a professional advice firm until you've got yourself up to scale. But as a new investor looking for ways to get into the investment world, here's some great new ideas for 2025, right? Invest in the businesses that are thriving in this type of an economy. And number one, that's the food businesses. If you drive by McDonald's, you don't see a line, right? You'll be the first one in history. I think investing in fast food is really important, especially when economic times are rough. People use fast food a lot more. The other thing is I would invest in some of the companies that are helping people make money. Now, this is the real big thing. Etsy is one of those companies where if you do crafts and you can put it online and you can sell it, it's a side gig company. You can have a full-time job and being putting things on Etsy to sell them. And you know, the same is true of Uber because a lot of people who do Uber are side gig people. So companies that help people to make extra money are going to be in demand. Now, I'm not so excited about the Airbnb business. There's some regulatory changes happening in the Airbnb business. There's a lot of neighbors that don't like B&Bs. I kind of stay away from that a little bit until the dust clears. But I do think that investing in companies that are profitable places for people to earn extra money is a great investment idea for 2025. Okay, so let's just talk about you and your financial freedom. If you're going to be doing investing, one of the goals of investing is to build up some financial freedom. You should have a goal. You should have a target. There's a whole group of people out there that participate in the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. Now, the older I get, the more and more the early number moves up. I used to think retiring at 40 was early. Now I think maybe retiring at 50 is early. But whatever your retirement target date is, you should have a target and save to that target. And getting financial freedom really means the financial freedom from 9 to 5. I think a lot of folks that are saving up money to gain financial freedom, they just don't want to lay on the beach and drink margaritas all the time. They really want to be free to pursue their other interests. I know people who've gotten financial freedom to now paint and to work on their painting skills and to sell painting in art galleries, which they couldn't make a living on, but now they have the financial freedom to do that. I know other folks that have gained enough financial freedom to basically turn their hobbies into a side business, whether it's small engine repair or teaching courses online. These are all valuable opportunities that you can gain from financial freedom by building up enough of a pool of money so that pool of money pays your basic living expenses. Now, there is another thing about activity, by the way, is that not everybody who retires early does nothing. I do think a lot of activities can be done that, you know, they do produce revenue, but they're also very, very rewarding. Writing, by the way, is what I'm doing for my second act. So many of you know that I ran a financial practice for 50 years, sold out to our younger partners a number of years ago. And guess what? I've just written my third book. I am doing these YouTube educational things. This is my second act. So what's interesting is that you should talk to people who are actually doing the things that you want to be doing. So if you have an interest in getting into the financial advice career, go ahead and hit me up, make a comment. I'll give you my advice on how you can build $1 billion financial advice practice. If you're interested in hearing about how I got into writing and doing 3 books for baby boomers, X-Geners, and millennials, hit me up and we can talk about that. Also, by the way, follow us so that you can join us at one of our upcoming live meetings. And going to a live meeting, doing a question and answer, getting some free signed books, that's just all part of the art of being smart. And I'll see you again next time. It's Paul Mauro.